Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's show. We're here tonight to discuss a little bench rest, and we've got some cool guests back in the green room. And I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and just bear with us. This is our first time. We're gonna be informal. We got a few topics to talk about tonight, and we'll call out the side chat here in a little while, and we'll get this thing rolling, and hopefully we can learn a little bit from each other tonight on shooting techniques and what have you. And um, Hillbilly up and I was talking, and this slot was open for a live, and he's like, "Hey man, why don't you try doing a bench rest show?" So we're going to try it and take a stab at it and give it a college try, and try to do our best at it. So I'll go ahead and bring out the guys from the green room. Up first, we have Justin. Justin's from my area. He shoots with me in competition at my range, and well, we do more than that. We do range improvements and everything. He keeps me busy. So, Justin, say hello to everybody,
Hello, everybody.
and you can go ahead and introduce yourself and
Introduce.
tell. Yep.
So, my name's Justin Lowe. I'm a machinist by trade. I'm just took a job this year teaching an industrial maintenance class at a local high school area technology center. Um, Try to shoot every chance I get um, into multiple disciplines of shooting, from shotguns to handguns, long guns, whatever. Um, Got into shooting bench rest style probably in 2001, um, when I lived in Virginia. More started out more or less factory class, like varmint type rifles. Um, Been smitten ever since. So now into bench rest rimfire, pretty hot and heavy, um, at our local club that Chad and I both shoot at. So
Justin's a machine. He's a machinist, so you know he's a perfectionist. He tries to be the best at everything. So Uh, Justin, thanks for coming on tonight. I know you carry a lot of knowledge. I'm glad to have you here, and I appreciate it.
thanks. Glad to be here.
Up next, we have Hasbro from Hasbro's Hide. A lot of you know him. Hasbro, how you doing?
Hey, doing good. Good to be on with you. This is an awesome show, the good topic, and not a topic a lot of people seem to cover for some reason. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. There's
Yep.
just this is a topic for the OCD, anal retentive types of us, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that skill right there. I spent my whole life in injection molding and around injection tooling and stuff like that, and I'm telling you what, the guys that know how to machine are brilliant, and sometimes they don't want you to know it, but it's really good. So yeah, I'm looking forward. My background is just simply I'm a plastics engineer and now manager of computer simulations to optimize these things before we commit $1 million to a mold, that kind of stuff. So I'm into plastics and in general injection molding, but it's the engineer in me that drives a lot of the bench rest shooting. So we'll talk about what started me early on into this kind of thing later on, but I have a lot of fun shooting a lot of different disciplines, from some that fill the air totally with smoke and you can't see squat, to some that don't make smoke at all. So we should have a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah. Hasbro, do you shoot those BB guns from the bench or what?
Well, funny you ask, but yeah, I do. I shoot them. I shoot them from everything. And in fact, this is a new one. I need to flip that camera around. That's one I just picked up, and I'll show you. I'll tell you about that later, Chad. But that's a Buzz Barton special that is almost brand new. It's amazing, and it's from 1938-ish or so. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, I've been getting into that lately just because of being indoors in the winter. So, but that'll fall off in the summertime a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fun thing to do in the winter when you can't get out and the weather's bad. I mean,
Yeah,
I know I've enjoyed doing it.
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Well, up next is my partner in crime for the last couple of weeks. Me and him worked on a little project together with Hasbro, and we put together a little target in dedication to Elijah and him being out AWOL, dealing with sickness. And here's American Hillbilly up.
Hey, fellers, how's everybody doing? Oh my goodness, Justin, I hate to tell you this, but don't turn around. You got a bunch of deer sneaking up on you, buddy.
Oh,
Those are fine looking bucks, brother. I like that. Man, I'm excited tonight. Anybody that's watched my channel knows I'm not very good at Benchrest shooting. So anyway, I'm here to learn, and I can't even say I throw my 2 cents in, because I mean I might be able to throw a half cent in, but I'm excited.
Hillbilly is truly here for technical support.
Now, come on, who gets a hillbilly for technical support, buddy? Just another hillbilly, but only one.
Yeah.
You saw what he did. You saw what he did to Elijah's channel. All the lines and hijacking.
You see how mean? Hey, did you see how mean he was to me on that channel?
Yeah. He called you out.
Elijah, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah.
So Hillbilly shot for 50-some years and realized he was using the wrong dang eye.
And hand, finger.
Wrong eye and wrong arm. My parents told me I was right-handed. I believed them all this time, but doggone
it. Guys, I want to take a moment to thank Ron 2A Matters. He's made a $5 donation. I appreciate that, buddy.
Wow, awesome, Ron.
And up next is another guy that I know brings a lot of knowledge to this topic, and that is Mike from Long Rifle, also MN Shooting Sports.
Hey everyone. If you don't know anything about me, I'm Mike, retired Marine Corps gunnery sergeant. Been out for close to 30 years now, actually. Well, I guess not 20 something, but anywho, I got back into shooting after I'd been out for about 10 years when I joined the American Legion Gun Club, and I found that camaraderie again because we have a CMP club down there that shoots positional, sling shooting, from the standing, kneeling, sitting, prone, and it reminded me of rifle qualification in the Marine Corps. So, but that's kind of what got me started back into shooting, and then I started collecting rifles when I inherited the Stevens Model 84 that my grandfather taught me to shoot tin cans off the fence posts down on the family farm with. And once I inherited that, I went down a rabbit hole of trying to find every J. Stevens 22 ever made, and I'm 3 away from having every one ever made. I have got 46 22 caliber rifles and pistols chambered in or that were manufactured by J. Stevens out of Chicopee Falls, Massachusetts. So it's probably the most complete collection on the planet.
Wow.
But that's kind of what my hobby is. Went through the whole different disciplines things of high power style shooting NRA high power matches, F class. Never really got into like true bench class. But I went down the F class rabbit hole for a while, and then got into the PRS scene, and then I found YouTube and a format to talk about 22s, and that's kind of where I've been spending too much of my time here lately. So
is that where most of your passion's at, Mike, in 22 shooting, or?
It honestly is. I mean, I'm more passionate about shooting 22s. When you can find a range where you can do fun stuff with them, and not just be shooting, holes and holes on paper at the same distances all the time. But there's also, I'm also still passionate about the center fire. There's nothing like shooting, third IPSC or A-zone IPSC targets at 1,400 yards with a center fire rifle, off of a tank trap. It's a different sport. So.
And you like 6mm arc. I know that.
I do. That is my. It's I've rechambered everything except a couple of ARs that I own. I've rechambered everything into 6 arc. I fell in love with the cartridge, but that's a different story. I'm thinking about doing a Benchrest or an F class gun in 6 arc and getting back into 6 arc. So yeah.
I've ever told you, Mike, I've got one Stevens, a Model 15. And I found
Okay.
this in a local gun store here. Never fired. I mean, never touched. And it's like, I got to have it. Of course, I had to fire it too. But it's like, that's the only one I have. But because of the history and all that went through that, through, all all the sniper stuff and all that, the whole story on that one. But it's just cool. It's not really accurate, but it's cool,
And a lot of them weren't meant to be. Most of my collection are the little boys, and the vast majority of them are the utility rifles. They were the meat in the pot rifles of the 20s, 30s, and 40s, like the one that my grandfather had that he bought new in 1939. It was to put food on the dinner table when he had a young family, type of thing. And they weren't anything special, but uh, some of them that are like that are amazing shooters too, though. So
Yeah, I
I
was
have
spacing it there. It was Carlos Murphy, right? Isn't that the guy?
Carlos Hathcock.
Oh, so yeah, that's right. Carlos
Yep,
Hathcock.
yep,
Yeah.
white. Yep.
The story of him is like that's what he learned to shoot. And it's like now I'm shooting this thing. I'm going, holy cow, I don't know how he did it.
Yeah. Well, Stevens was the number one or the largest firearms manufacturer in the world prior to World War II. They were there. There's nobody that made more firearms. Nobody even came close than to the J. Stevens Arms Company. So I could give you a history lesson on them because I learned
Pretty
about
cool.
as I was displaying my collection in antique and vintage rifle shows and stuff for a number of years. There was a big one we had here out at the state fairgrounds in Minnesota, and our the politics of this state that I live in got to where the agricultural committee on it said no more firearm stuff on DNR fire or state fairgrounds property, and it killed the largest gun show in this state that had been going on for 40 plus years. So
Yeah, and if you want to hear a good story about Hathcock, about his life, there's a YouTuber out there. His channel's called the Fat Electrician,
Oh yeah.
and
yeah,
he does what he calls Fat Files, and he does a lot of really good history of our men and women from the service and stuff. And he has a wonderful video on Hathcock over there.
yeah.
All right, guys, we got a lot of input in the side chat. So, guys, as these topics come out tonight, I encourage you guys to share your side of it on the side chat as well. And guys, keep in mind this is my first one, so I didn't want to get too overwhelmed tonight, so I kept my panel small. I know, Jeremy, I see you out there from Firearms and Fellowship. I'll get you in on one, buddy, but I wanted to keep it small tonight to just make sure I knew what I was doing here, and we're going to try to get through it best we can. I see we got Mark Thomas come over tonight. Welcome,
So are you
Mark.
trying to tell them there, Chad, that maybe in a year or so you'll be able to have them on?
No, no, no,
No,
no,
no,
no.
ain't gonna take you that long.
We're
He
not
learns
doing that.
faster than that.
We're not
All
doing
right.
that bad, are we? I mean,
No.
gee. No, I appreciate everybody over there in that side chat. I mean, they're rolling. So,
Yeah, they are.
but guys, the first topic of tonight, we'll just go ahead and roll down there and get that on the banner. We'll get it scrolling across through there. Topic is tell us about yourself and how you got into Benchrest. And I know you covered some of that, but maybe you got some kind of story that goes way, way back. And tell us what brought you to Benchrest shooting. And we'll start out with Hasbro. How about that? We'll work our way back up.
You start at the bottom of the barrel, we'll work our way up.
Yeah.
Well, I started shooting many years ago because of my father, and that happens to a lot of people, right? But my dad he had a Browning T-Bolt 22, and man, I wish I had that gun this date. And I will find another one, but we would shoot squirrels out of the trees because we have these literally 150-foot shagbark hickory trees, and they get up here and chew the tops of the nuts off, just the tops. They come down and just beat the fire out of your car. So my job to clear a few of them out. That was all right. But from there, he got into muzzleloader shooting. And we started going to Friendship together, which is the center of the NMLRA, or National Muzzleloading Rifle Association. And so I started later on, just right after I built my first pistol, but that's not Benchrest shooting. But I got out of college and I started building my own flintlocks and did an apprenticeship on how to engrave with a master gunsmith at this place called Conner Prairie. And from there, I started just shooting all kinds of things. Most of it was offhand. But I came across a rifle in Kalamazoo, Michigan, of all places, muzzleloading Benchrest rifle. And I was hooked. This gun weighs like 13 pounds. I mean, it's a hoss, right, for a muzzleloader. They get heavier. But I really started liking that intense focus and managing every little detail. And it's probably the OCD engineer in me, as I said earlier. So that's what really got me started. Then later on in life, I kind of got back into it because, kind of like Mike, I went to the other side of the Iron Curtain and worked for Apple out in California, where gun ownership is highly restricted. And then once I moved back home to Southern Indiana, then I got back into it in a big way. So now I shoot a lot of things. I shot F-class for many, many years. And now I'm shooting a lot of 22 Benchrest contests, formal and informal. So
I'll stop right there and take a break. We got George in Kentucky. He just come back in, and that's his old name, if you're familiar with his channel. But he's recently changed his name to Southern Rifle. And George, welcome in tonight, and we'll move on up to you if you want to tell us about yourself a little bit and how you got into Benchrest shooting. It's your turn. Fire away.
Well, name's George Coleman. Been shooting since the mid 90s, I guess. I've been shooting Benchrest. Got in an accident in 91 and broke my neck. And some buddies of mine just trying to get me out to do things. They knew I shot some. And they said, come on, go to a Benchrest match with us. I said, all right, I'll go with you. Dude, that was a downhill road there. Been paying for it ever since. And I've been shooting centerfire Benchrest, shoot rimfire Benchrest, shot some ARAs, IBS in both disciplines, some NBRSA as well. About all the centerfire I do now is UBR, Ultimate Benchrest. If you're not familiar with that, you need to be. It's one of the best Benchrest disciplines out there now. It's a score discipline, but each caliber has its own target. Like a 30 BR can't rule. 30 BR can't rule the class because it's got its target. 22's got its target. 6mm got its target. And anyway, Ultimate Benchrest. Watch all you guys about every day. I don't comment on all of you. I know I should. I know the algorithms, helps y'all to comment. I watch y'all about every day. So that's me in a nutshell right there, brother.
R4 Mississippi Thunder, I feel you. He says, well, I had to start resting on the bench to shoot when things got to where I couldn't stand for any length of time.
no kidding.
I feel the same about Mike over there at Long Rifle. He likes to do that positional shooting. And, I'm on a diet now. Maybe when I lose some weight and get in a better shape, I might be able to get down there and get back up without somebody helping me. I don't know.
I understand. I was sucking wind shooting NRL 22 last year. And I'm down 51 pounds. I'm diabetic, so it's helping. But
wow.
I can't wait to do it again this year.
That's
and there's
awesome.
actually a PRS shoot tomorrow, but I can't make it. So
Yeah. Anybody, if you ever see me shooting prone on my videos, because I fell down. It wasn't on purpose. I'm like, I just can't get up. I'll just do the video from down here. We'll do prone shooting today, guys.
he tripped on his White Claw clan.
All right. Well, who's next? Who wants to take a stab at it? Mike, you want to go?
Sure. Like I kind of said in, talking about myself, I really never really gotten into what I guess I would consider, the Benchrest rabbit hole. And I really didn't go that deep down the F class rabbit hole because it was a graduation of, like I said, kind of getting out of NRA high power style shooting to, oh, hey, the range. When I got to North Star Rifle Club and got a membership there, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, this is kind of cool seeing these, prone sling and F class shooters and what they're doing. And when I saw what they were delivering on target at 600 plus yards, I was like, how the heck are they doing that? Well, I thought I could, because old, retired jarhead, I should be able to do it with iron sights, type of thing. Well, no, I couldn't. But I tried to put together just like the budget Mark II. I put together a budget friendly F class gun that was born out of a Savage 110 varmint with an Accu stock on it and a Strike Eagle, $800 MOA rifle scope, and I thought I could compete with these guys, and I tried to for like 2 years, and I just realized, and I was also kind of dabbling with the start of the PRS game with the Ruger Precision Rifle in 308 when that first came out, and it was like, which am I going to throw all my spare money at? Not that I had any spare money still, at that point in time, but where am I going to do a big money dump at? And most of it went to the PRS. Now I'm in a better place in life, and I kind of would like to build a dedicated Benchrest gun because there's another range that's about another hour and a half north of me where they do some 1,000-yard Benchrest stuff up there, and I would really like to try that. Maybe build a BR or a dash or something in 6mm. I don't know. But what got me into the idea of Benchrest shooting, I guess, or where I started getting kind of pulled into it and actually shooting off of a bench, was, again, it's kind of when I first joined the American Legion Gun Club, and started to meet some of the guys down there. I didn't reload. I didn't do anything at that point in my life. And I met some of these older retired guys. This was 20 years ago that were down there. And I was still into ARs. And I bought a 26-inch stainless 1-7, 223 AR, upper. And the guys down there taught me how to start doing hand loading and stuff like that, and to dial in a load for that barrel. And when I started to get to where, I could put 10 shots inside of a dime at 100 yards with that, I was really sucked into, hey, this is kind of fun off of a bench. And I didn't do it competitively. It was just always chasing that, how much tighter can that group get, type of thing. And I did that for a while, and then I got bored with shooting paper, and steel targets became, attractive to me. So I'm just kind of all over the board. I'll shoot a little bit of anything, in any condition, any weather, doesn't matter. So
I'm going to go back up here. I got a question here from Shane Hall. Says, where's everybody from? A lot of these guys in the panels from Kentucky. And we got Mike's from Minnesota, and Hasbro's from Indiana, and Hillbillies from Kansas. The rest of us are from Kentucky.
I'm in Southwest Missouri. There
Missouri,
ain't no
I'm sorry.
hills in Kansas, brother.
Oh, okay.
Hell, you never been to
Kansas.
Kansas, have you?
Oh,
Kansas kicked him out.
sorry, Hillbilly.
Yeah, well, we migrated here from Kentucky, so I mean,
Okay.
I was born in Jefferson City, Missouri.
okay.
I don't know if that counts for anything, but
Yeah.
So Shane Hall and Vince Ratliff and let's see, did I see anybody else on
Tim
here?
Coleman.
Tim Com Tim Comer. Those
Yeah.
are all locals from our range. That's actually they've actually made appearances in my videos. If you go
Awesome.
watch, yep. So
I appreciate those videos too, where you've
yep,
got
nice
everybody
to
shooting in
have you,
rows
Del
like
Poe.
that. Really like those.
Glad
We
to
have
see
fun doing it.
glad to see Jamie over here, guys. He has a Georgia shooting connection on Friday nights just before our show, and they, if you like reloading and that type of discussion, they have a really good chat over there. Starts at 8 o'clock Eastern, and that, I guess that would be 7 o'clock Central.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Justin, how about you, buddy? What got you into Benchrest shooting?
After college, I moved to Northern Virginia and was working at a machine shop with a guy that was into varmint shooting and bench rest, like varmint rifles, And him and his brother both reloaded. They were both members of the local gun range, and they kind of got me into reloading and shooting precision rifles from the bench. And there's a lot of bench rest matches and stuff going on in that area. We were next door to Quantico Marine Base. There was a range there, lots of matches going on. Didn't participate in any of those matches, but it was, a bench rest heavy area. It wasn't uncommon to go in a gun shop and see that type of stuff, in the gun shops. Um, then moved back to Kentucky in 2004 and met up with a friend that was into the same thing, varmint rifles. So just kept on reloading, shooting varmint rifles, and then got into rimfire a little bit. Got my first 52, and all downhill from there.
Yeah, you're the reason that I got 52s.
Yeah, it happens.
You guys make me cry every time you use that term. I was at an auction a few weeks ago. I was telling them, and I was waiting on one Savage Model 12 target rifle, and I waited the whole day. And I told my wife, I'm going to spend this much, right? And I let two 52As go by at $450 a piece, waiting on this other rifle.
Oh
and,
no!
And I didn't win the other rifle. It's like, son of a gun.
He's lying, Justin. He was really shopping for BB guns and didn't pay those 52s no mind.
Nope. Well, the next day I did buy BB guns. So,
Oh, Lordy. All right, Hillbilly. What got you into bench resting? I know you said that you wasn't really a bench rest shooter, but I have seen you shoot some challenge targets.
Well, before I guess we'd call it Benchrest, we did some hood rest and tailgate rest.
The hillbilly way.
Popping
Hillbilly
coyotes out in the fields,
resting on the bench.
Yeah. Shooting off the hood or, bed of the truck. But basically just everybody having fun shooting these challenge targets and all this. That's kind of what got me into it, mainly. And I've enjoyed it and had a good time, and just still learning a lot, and just really enjoying it. Those challenge targets are just a lot of fun. They really are. And yeah, I think that's about the most of it. We didn't really do much bench rest shooting before unless you just sighting your gun in, the scope and stuff.
So I was telling these guys earlier back in the green room, I was giving an example of how I got into bench rest. I think I was right around 15 years old, and my first rifle was a Marlin 25, 7-round magazine, bolt action, pencil barrel, and I squirrel hunted with it. And my uncle bought a Savage 900, and he was glass bedding it and uh, pillar blocks and big fancy scope and buying match ammo, and he was shooting 50-yard Benchrest. And I wanted to get into it with him, so I went and bought a big 50 millimeter Simmons scope and throwed it on top of this Marlin 25. And I actually done pretty good with it. And I was shooting, believe it or not, Winchester Dynapoints. And it really made my uncle mad because he had spent hundreds of dollars on this Savage, and we sat down and shot against each other, and I outdone him, and he was ready to throw his rifle over the hill. So that rifle, I had it. I had it until 2011, and I had a house fire in 2011, and I lost everything I owned. And the way I didn't have but a handful of guns when the house burnt, and I didn't have a gun safe, so they were in a closet. And as the house burnt, the fire started in the attic, and as it burnt down, the clothes that were hanging in the closet fell down and kind of smothered the guns, and the stocks got damaged and charred, but the metal of the guns was still okay. And so the first year for Christmas after my house burnt, my dad restocked that rifle and reblued it, and he gave it back to me for Christmas, and that was awesome. The only thing he couldn't find for that rifle at the time was the butt plate. So my dad's a woodworker, and he custom made me a butt plate for the gun. It was beautiful. I wouldn't have had it any other way. And when I married my wife here in Pikeville, I lived in Richmond, Kentucky, and we now live in Pikeville, Kentucky. So it's about 2.5 hour drive. And I loaded up a cargo trailer with all my belongings, and it was right at Christmas time. So I came to Pikeville with a load, unloaded it, had Christmas dinner with her mom and dad. I went back to Richmond, had Christmas dinner with my mom and dad, went back to my place to get another load, and somebody had broke into my place and they stole all my guns, including that gun. And only gun I was left with was the one I had in the truck with me. And so I'm still today um, looking for a Marlin 25 7-round clip bolt action that I want it to be in really nice condition. I found a lot of them that are ragged out, but that's something I'm looking for just because it has some sentimental value to me. And I know it's not the one I had as my first rifle, but I want one. So that's where it started at for me, was with a Marlin 25 shooting against the Savage 900. So
I'll keep an
yep,
eye
Where do
out
you have
every
it yet?
time I'm looking in the vintage section.
yep. So we're going to call out the side chat tonight, and Hillbilly, what do you think we should have them type in, since you're going to be the one chasing it down, calling them out?
I'll have to be something I can read.
Big letters.
3-letter word.
And that everybody can spell.
Benchrest.
Benchrest. Alrighty. Yeah, if you type in Benchrest out there on the side chat, I'll try to shout you out.
And the first thing I do is mistype it.
Yeah. That's not how it's supposed to, but I can understand that though too.
Yeah, it translates in hillbilly.
All right. So first up we had Hasbro. See, we got Jacob S out there at the range day. Let's see. Red Rider, reloading. Jacob S, garage guy. Let me get the cursor here. See, we got Vince Ratliff out there. Kentucky Rimfire and Hobbies. Long rifle. We got Glenn Davis. We got M. Gabriel over there on Hasbro's side. We got Terry's Reloading, Mr. Bob Dabalina out there. We got Fuku YT out there, also known as Boomstick. We got R4 Mississippi Thunder. We got Ron 2A Matters, Shane Hall, Southern Rifle, Mike Hester, Helping Man out there on Hasbro's Channel 2. We got Abigail out there. And that's it so far. Man, good to see each and every one of you. Glad y'all
Well,
can join us.
looks like there's 41 in the side chat or 41 watching, so I appreciate that for
Awesome.
the first night.
That's good, buddy.
Yep. Let's be sure to go over and hit that like button.
Oh, we just had let's see, I just missed we got Tim out there, and Michael Dunn just jumped in and said, hello everybody. Hello y'all. So howdy, buddy.
Tim Comer's going down that rabbit hole. He's a local. He's just getting started, and
Awesome.
he ain't even shot his first match yet, and he's bought 3 rifles already.
Is he related to Hasbro? Get that fever and just
Hey,
start
I'm just a
piling
Nibs wannabe.
Yeah.
Just
Hey,
wait till he goes
listen.
down the ammo rabbit hole.
Every time Nibs pulls up his screen, I just go, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
Shoot with a great group of guys, I tell you. So I guess we'll move on to our next topic, and that would be,
Did we get everybody?
what do we leave off with?
I don't know. I just want to make sure we got everybody. Oh, awesome.
The last one
Yep.
went there. So we're waiting on Justin.
Yeah, I think that's right.
No.
Yep. I about
Off the
jumped
side
ahead.
chat.
Huh?
For the first question.
Yeah, Justin was first, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, we did. Yeah,
All right,
I was
good.
the last.
Yep,
I was the
yep.
last one to go. Yeah.
Yep.
So, second topic was what gun would you say first started you in Benchrest? Which I think most of y'all probably covered that, and so we'll move on. And if you could have one Benchrest rifle, what would it be?
What discipline?
22 long rifle, I think, right?
I think it's 22 long rifles, what I got in the notes. So if you could have one 22 long rifle Benchrest, what would it be? George, what you got on your mind?
Calfee built turbo.
Yep. I have a Calfee built 52, and I have to say the
I've had a couple of them.
the craftsmanship is phenomenal.
Yeah, you can't. Bill Calfee was the dude, buddy. I would say if I had to, what I really, really want, and I just can't, there ain't no way I could afford it. But Calfee made some XP pistols in 22.
It's a lot like that pistol
Golly,
you
but-
showed me. It looks a lot like the pistol you showed me the other day.
You guys are this
Yeah,
Calfee rifles. I offered Chad $20 of good cold hard cash for that rifle, and he wouldn't take it.
Jeez.
I want you to
That's when I
write him
offered
for me.
25,
I
he
mean,
probably
it
wouldn't
was
take
right
it.
there. I might have given him 21.
I had first refusal on that rifle.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it ain't going nowhere.
I've shot it.
But there's some
about-
other good smiths out there too, though. I mean,
What
yeah.
about you, Mike? And it can't be a Savage because you already are the Savage guy.
Or Stevens.
No, you can't have no
Yeah.
more Stevenses.
Well, if it was just like a magic gun up here, there is a Stevens that I will never be able to afford or chase down that I'd like to have. But if it's a 22 Benchrest, what I'd really like to have, I'd love to have Kenny at Desert Gunworks spin me up anything he wants to do. That's
Sure.
what I would, if there's anything I could do to have him custom build me and lot match something, tell me, send it to me and say, just buy this lot and this ammo and you're good. That's what I'd like to have, so something from Desert Gunworks.
Yeah, I was talking to Cyclops Joe the other night, and he's like, I got one that Kenny built me. He said that's that Remex, and he said, man, it will shoot hands down better than anything I've ever had my hands on. And then he goes on to say, and Kenny's building me something else too. So
Yeah.
Joe's going to end up with two of them. So
I guess if we're gonna be like, if there's anything you could do and you could dream, you wanted, I would love to have Kenny build me a rifle around a Savage Mark II action. That's what I'd like, because nobody makes a Mark II, pre-fit or a barrel. If you're gonna, and I don't know of anybody out there that has a Savage Mark II that has a non-factory barrel on it. So,
True.
if you're watching, Kenny,
I think it's sacrilege to him, but other than that,
yeah, yeah, well,
so Mike Hester, I've read about that Hall action in this Calfee book right here. I'm not even knocked a dent in it yet. I started reading it. I'm 150 pages in, and it's a 700-page book. And this guy, Bill Calfee, shares a tremendous amount of knowledge about his gun building and what works and what don't. And he didn't care to share it. I mean, he even says in this book, why would I keep it a secret and take it to my grave with me? He said, I want everybody to know,
Awesome.
like his barrel tuner. He even gives the specs in here of his barrel tuner. If you wanted to make one of his barrel tuners and you knew how to machine, you could do it. So it's a really interesting book. But
Calfee definitely the man. I mean, he
yep,
was, he, and like you say, he was a he was a pot stirrer. He'd get on there. He had his own website, and buddy, you never seen like a fights they had on there. Just because they didn't like Calvin, you know. Everybody said he just had a bag of pixie dust that he spread on everything. Oh, it was good times. It really was.
Mm-hmm. Calfee was a local legend to this area where me and Chad's from too.
yeah, he originated from Hindman, Kentucky.
It's about 20, 30 minutes from where Chad lives.
Yeah.
So what about you, Hasbro? What would be your
Mike stole my thunder. I've been chatting with Kenny since he really started getting going, and I worked with him early on about with this camera system, the Eagle Eye system. And it's like every once in a while, I'll still say, "Hey, I'm still waiting to build a rifle for you," and it's like I need to commit, but when I commit, it's going to be like 5,000 or more, right? It's going to take some money to get behind it. But I just debating. It's like, and I will do it. It may be a retirement present that I do for myself, but I'm sort of in between now. I think I have everything spec'd out between his barrel line and a Mueller Works. Because, man, I've seen the results out of those Mueller Works barrels, and it's like, holy cow. And they seem to be not so ammo sensitive. And I don't know. It's got me between those two barrels, but it'll definitely be a DPG rifle, a DPW.
I would love to have one of Kenny's rifles. Also, John from Modicam, I've actually shot one of his rifles. We had a local here that had a Bagara B14 built by him, and it had one of those big truck axle barrels on it. Man, it would shoot.
It was a Mueller barrel, I think, wasn't it, Chad?
Was it?
Mueller barrel. Yep.
1.25 straight profile.
Yeah. And it's like I got that CZ all tuned in with the Lilja barrel, and it's really good. But it's like, yeah, it is. You spend thousands to get another eighth of an inch, and that's right about where I'm at. I want that other eighth of an inch. It's going to cost me a fortune.
Justin, you just recently acquired a Cooper rifle. So what could you want more than a Cooper?
I would have to go full custom, I guess, to go any further than the rifles I have now. If I had unlimited budget, I'd go with a Jeff Patterson Spec Series rifle. Um, Probably a Mueller barrel, Flavio trigger. Um, if money was no option, that'd be the build I'd build.
You've been
McMillan
thinking
stock.
about that.
Oh yeah, a little bit. I already got all my parts picked out. Just waiting on the funds.
It's kind of like with me. If I didn't want to commit to one of Kenny's, my next wife will like it because this one's
Yeah.
not going to be around.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Michael Dunn for stopping in. He just stopped in for a minute to say hi. How about you, Hillbilly? What's your most wanted 22 Benchrest rifle?
I just want one that you sit down there and shoot the eyes out of the bullseye. I don't care what it is. But yeah, I don't know. A coffee would definitely be nice. No doubt about that. But I don't know. It would be really cool to have something custom with a Marlin. I'm a big Marlin rifle fan, and maybe somebody could take a Marlin bolt action and really tune her up good, maybe change the barrel, whatever you needed and stuff. I think that'd be sweet to have.
Send you a link. There's one on Gunbroker.
Marlin made a nice gun, a Model 2000, I think it was.
Oh,
it was a really good
that?
shooting rifle.
The 9,000?
S2000 or something like that?
Yeah,
something.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out then.
The
It'd be
few
hard
that I
to
don't
find,
have. There's a few that I don't have that I'd like to have.
Yeah.
I like to have a Kimber 82 and a H&R M12, and but I guess without going custom, because I mean everybody wants a custom rifle, and I would have to go with Kenny just like you guys, but I would like to find a 52D. I got an A, B, and a C. I need a D.
There you go.
There's some easy.
You need two. That way you'd have double Ds.
There is an E model out there too that's rare. Yep, you're right.
I'm just kind of waiting for High Point to come out with their Benchrest bolt action.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
That'll be awesome.
It'll be heavy.
Well, counting all them screws and stuff, yeah.
But, we're talking about all these dream rifles, especially the custom rifles. The problem is not just the expense of the gun. But when you get a gun that way, you're going to want to drop $2 or $3 grand in ammo. Because when you find that lot, you better stock up, right? Because you have the rifle, and you better have enough ammo for a long time.
We'll have a couple cases to go along with it.
Yeah.
If you shoot any kind of competition, rimfire, you have to do that.
Yeah.
There's Rimfire Dave in the side chat, and I tried to email him and get him on tonight, but he must have missed it. But he's got a lot of knowledge when it pertains to Benchrest shooting, and I would love to have him on here sometime. He just recently released a video of how to properly clean a rifle, and he's got a very detailed video of how he cleans his rifle, and it's a good video. So
real good video.
Yep.
What do you know about cleaning a rifle?
I just been using the garden hose all this time, and I'm like, man, I seen Rimfire Dave's video. I'm like, I've been doing it wrong all this time.
So
I don't clean mine. I mean, I'll just be honest. I don't. I run a solvent patch, like 3 to 5 solvent patches through every other trip to the range. through all my rimfires. None of my rimfires have ever had any form of deep clean or a brush through them. I mean, it just and I know there's going to be people who be haters. There's going to be people who be like, "Yep, that's the way you do it." Is it turtle wax or is it mother's? Which is best? Well, it's up to you, I guess.
So
That's a date stamp right there.
yeah,
Good topic for next week.
it is different for everyone, and
Yep.
I know there's a lot of old school out there that likes to deep clean and start off with the clean chamber. And I can tell you one rifle I've seen that you have to do that with, and Justin's got a H&R M12, and if you do not clean that rifle between rounds, uh, you'll shoot crap. But if you clean it between every round, it'll shoot lights out.
That's my pre-A
That's
52 Eric Johnson barrel.
Oh yeah,
That's
yep,
yeah,
yep. Sorry, I thought it was the M12. It was the pre-A. Yep.
yeah.
So you've bought so many new ones here lately, I can't keep up with them. So
I'm sorry.
Mike, I'm kind of with you. Like that CZ I mentioned. It's like I'll take the bolt out and I clean it, and I'll clean the breech area just a little bit,
Yep.
and
Yep,
I'll run a
that's
dry
it.
patch through it, and that's just for keeping everything functional. Now my Benchrest 1022 that I have, it requires a bit more, and I'll fire it until it starts to get erratic, right? Because that's going to foul that bolt, and sooner or later you're going to have a problem. But accuracy wise, down that barrel, a couple dry patches, that's about it for the most part.
Yep. And I just made a mistake here, probably. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. I don't know if I'm going to do an unboxing or not with it. But I bought, one of these flexible hook to your phone bore scopes in color. I've got one of the old school Lyman black and white with the, electronic one when those first came out. And I hardly ever use that because, uh, I found when I did use it, I was like, oh, this is a problem here and whatever. And it wasn't a problem. The rifle shot lights out. And I was worried about what I thought I saw off of a mirror in a black and white screen. So uh, but I bought one just because I am seeing a lot of content lately on people doing deep cleans and lapping and this and that on their rim fires. And I'm like, well, and I've had people ask me in my content, you got any pictures? What's your bore look like on that or whatever? And I'm like, well, I really can't show you because what I've got for a bore scope, I just can't share it, so. But,
Hey, let me ask you guys. Speaking of cleaning, let me ask you guys a question. And this happens to me. I don't know how many of you shoot Ely, right? This is an Ely problem. But I hit it really bad every time it gets cold. 10x sticks like a son of a gun in that chamber. And it's like, it seems like it doesn't matter if I clean it or what. It just sticks with that wax.
I've heard different shooters say that Ely don't do good in the cold.
Is it just me, or is it just the really tight chamber in that Bilge?
The rifles that I've got, the 22s that I've got that shoot, whether it's my Stevens Model 416 that I shot this year in our 200-yard sling prone match, a 1938, single shot rolling block Stevens with a 10 power nurdle on it. I shot 10x out of that, and it was 28 degrees, and I had no issues, with it. My Savages, they shoot and they function for whatever reason. Ely team through those Mark 10s, like with no problems. But match and 10x, I have some issue, and I don't understand why. Because it's the same lead, it's the same bullet, it's the same lube, but I've had issues. My B14, it doesn't like Ely for feeding at all. The Savages do, So um, I'm actually really glad that I found that this SK Pistol Match Special is available again. And my guy at DST Precision, he's got a couple cases, and I'm going to go down and buy probably 2 cases from him this weekend, so I don't have to worry about rimfire ammo again. I just got my work bonus for the year finally, and I figured, you know what, I might as well buy ammo with it.
So I'll share my Ely story, and then we'll move on to this question. And what this is Shane. He said, "What's your go-to Benchrest rifle?" So when we answer this, it'll be if you were going to go shoot a challenge target right now and you wanted to win, rifle do you currently have that? What's your rifle that you're taking to win that challenge? But my story about Ely is I started off shooting a lot of 1022 in the Benchrest, and I got several 1022s that I've built with bull barrels. I've got Green Mountain barrels. I had factory Ruger barrels. I've had kid barrels. I've had a whole plethora of different 1022s. Um, One of my best shooting 1022s is it's a factory 1022 target model with the laminate stock, and it's been rebarreled with a 20-inch Green Mountain fluted barrel. And Justin and I went to a ABRA shoot, and I was shooting um, Ely precision or Ely semi-auto precision bench
Benchrest.
rest,
Yeah.
um, lights out. But when you go to an ABRA match where you're shooting 6 different cards, and it was so overwhelming to me that I wasn't taking the time to clean between rounds and all. The Ely ammo was so dirty that by the fourth round of shooting targets, I was having so many malfunctions and feeding issues. I was having to borrow a pick from a guy next to me to pick they wouldn't extract, and I had a mess going on because Ely ammo was so dirty in that semi-auto rifle, and I didn't take the time to clean it in between rounds. But that was our first time at a really, really big match, and there was a lot of moving pieces that day, so I was a little overwhelmed. And funny story is, I took third place. Um, but there was only 3 shooters in my category. I'm gonna keep it honest.
He's got the trophy to prove it.
There you go. I
Been
mean,
there, done
So
that.
what happened was I showed up with a 1022, and I was like, well, I'll be in a 1022 class. Well, no, because it had been rebarreled. They stuck me in an unlimited class.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So all right, guys. So if you're going to go shoot a challenge target today, what rifle are you taking? For me, I'm taking my 52A because that's what I shoot the best with.
For me,
Semi-auto
I'm
or bolt?
taking hand shooters.
Semi-auto or bolt?
It doesn't any if you are
Either.
leaving to go win a challenge, what
Okay.
rifle are you taking? Hillbilly?
Well, I guess since I only have really one decent bench gun, it'd be the Savage Mark II.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mike showed us all that that's not a bad choice. So
No,
Good choice.
I'll get her figured out. Right ammo and everything.
Justin,
It's like asking you which kid you love more, Chad. I mean, I don't have much time behind my Cooper, but I'm really digging it lately. I know more about my Winchester 52C, so I'd probably take the 52C because I have more time behind it. You know.
so here's a funny story about Justin. Uh, when I started to do Benchrest 22 at our club, I got with the club president and I was like, hey, I want to do Benchrest 22. He's like, sure, you take it over. He said, you need to establish some rules. So I got online and I found a club in Georgia that kind of had rules that followed what I wanted to do. So I adopted their rule book and changed the name in it from their club name to mine. And our first match, I advertised that on our club page that we was going to have a shoot, and Justin and Bruce got wind of it. We're standing there with our 1022s and just nothing spectacular. I don't even think there was a CZ present, was there, Justin?
You had an MTR.
There was one MTR. Yeah. So,
Yes.
anyways, here comes Justin and Bruce, and they get these big solid cases out of the back of their truck, and they open them up. Well, no, they don't open them up. They walk up and introduce themselves to us, and there's like, we got a couple of Winchester 52s, and I didn't even know what they were.
Nobody
And I was
did.
like, well, what class would those fall in? And Justin said, well, technically they're a factory built rifle. He said we could put them in the factory class. He said, but we're not going to do. Well, he said we're not going to do you that way. he said we'll shoot them in precision class. And I was like, what could they be? How special are they? Well, they go jerk them out of these cases out of the back of the truck, and they got these big unertal scopes on top of them. And I'm like, well, I might as well just pack up and go home.
28-inch barrels, and everybody else has like 16s and 20s.
Yeah. So, hey, they made a showing, and it has done nothing but grow from there. I mean, and now everybody at the range wants a 52. But we've had a couple of guys bite the bullet and get some anshoots too. But those anshoots, I mean, they don't do any better than a 52 in my eyes. And there you go. I said it. I mean, I've seen the 52s outshoot the anshoots. Man, where we shoot at, the wind's always changing, and if you don't learn to read wind, it don't matter what gun you sit down there with. You're not going to do any good if you can't read that wind.
Wind and ammo.
So, yeah. So, what about George? What rifle you taking?
My Anshoots.
And
It was spanked to a 52. You just wait and see.
You're close enough that we might have to figure that out.
Yeah, we'll get together. We're gonna get together. Yeah, that Anshoots 54.
Yeah.
It's got a set trigger in it, man. Gosh, man. You gotta feel that to believe. And that unertal that's on it, man, it's just a piece of work. Love to shoot.
I'm a sucker for the old vintage stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's because of Justin that I started shopping for 52s, and then I ended up getting a Remington 513 and
75.
Burno Mod 4, a Winchester 75. Yeah, I went down that rabbit hole.
It's because of people like you. I can't find a Winchester 52. Also,
there's actually probably 3 out there. I need a pre-A and a D and an E.
Yep.
Yep. So, all right, who's left? Mike.
he went AWOL.
He went AWOL. Asbro
left the chat.
I'm going to take my my custom CZ with a little barrel and all the little tricks I put onto it because it's really highly developed and worked a lot on head spacing, and it's just I can pick it up with that ammo and I know where I'm going to be minus the wind, right? And that's a good feeling to have when you know where you're going to be. So,
yep,
it makes a difference.
Well, that said, if it was semi-auto, I've got 4 different custom. Well, one straight up factory Ruger, so I can shoot that, but then 3 other customs, and then that one, like you said, with the Green Mountain barrel in it. Now mine's 24-inch Green Mountain barrel, but holy cow, you shoot Ely Benchrest Precision, and I even shot Ely Benchrest Outlaw, which is kind of like their cheaper version of the Precision. And holy cow, it just shoots. It's consistent, so not bad.
Hey, Kelly, thank you for stopping by, buddy. Appreciate you jumping on here. No
Part of what helps
there.
to shoot is the $400 kid trigger in it too.
No pros in the side chat, and I talked to him a little bit about getting on tonight, and he was a little shy on me, but I was telling him about what my topics was going to be tonight, and when I said what gun got you into Benchrest shooting, he's like, CZMTR, of course, because that's about all he shoots. And
he's got one good one, boy.
He's darn good with it. Yeah. And Boomstick, right there's another one that keeps pulling 22s out of the closet. He's got more 22s than you can shake a stick at.
Yep.
So, M. Comer says, if I go, I go big. That's right. I seen you drop hundreds of dollars just today, brother. uh, he showed up to the range and bought a rifle off of me, and then went to the gun store and bought ammo. And he's like, I'm gonna go down there and get me 2 or 3 boxes. I caught him walking out there with a brick and a half. And so, Mike, you're the last one left, buddy. Are you taking the Savage?
I'm probably taking the budget Mark II set, or the budget Mark II, the one screw budget Mark II. And the reason I'll say that is because uh, I my post 435 100-yard rimfire challenge that I've been putting on for 7 years now. And I purposely kind of built that because some of the guys out there have been getting a little uppity and talking a little bit trash and stuff of on the gear and the rifles and getting mad that people are bringing expensive stuff out. Well, I came in second to a guy who also shot a Savage Mark II. And people below that were shooting Voodoos, 52s, Anschützes, a Super Match 54 Anschütz, if you know what one of those are. And I'm not talking about guys that ain't been shooting their whole lives, so but it kind of goes back to it's a 100-yard match, and it comes back to what I've heard some other people say earlier. Can you read the wind?
Yep.
Can you wait for your shots and be patient and read the wind at 100 yards? Because this is a plastic $239 rifle with a $90 scope on it and a True Glow $35 bipod, all-in rifle off of a sandbag, $403, and I finished second. So, but
So
yeah, it's
I,
I'm taking a Savage Mark II, guys.
I tell you somebody that's good about reading the wind, and it's funny to watch running a match. We got 8 benches and we got 8 shooters shooting. And Justin there, he'll be down there, he'll be shooting, he'll be down on that gun, and all of a sudden he'll raise up. He'll start waiting, and when he raises up, you can watch all 7 other benches raise up and start waiting. They follow suit. So when Justin won't shoot, they won't shoot.
After I fire my shot, then everybody else goes back to shooting.
When Justin's raised up, I just shoot his target and give him a bad.
Yeah. There you go. Whoops.
Crossfire.
That's happened.
I went
before, too.
home, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah.
I tell you what, but I've spent a good bit of time work-wise in Minnesota, and Mike, I know you read the wind. There's no choice in Minnesota whether you read the wind or not.
No, there ain't. And when you shoot all weather as much as I do, I mean, you can read the mirage year round. I mean, and if you can see them mice running across 3/4 of the way down in front of you, it tells you a lot. And and that is the one thing that in my little 2 to 3 years of trying some mid-range F-class stuff with the cheap rifle, that's the one thing that those experienced shooters taught me out there. And I wanted to talk, just sorry if I get off track here, but something that like in the green room when we all were talking, and that there's engineers and stuff in this group. You know what I found, at least in my little F-class experience, all the guys that were killing in that, they were doctors, chemical and mechanical engineers. They were guys that had all the patience in the world and just were methodical about everything they did. At least that was what my experience was. So.
You have to be. I mean, you're trying to hit, SDs of 2 feet per second, 3 feet per second kind of stuff at 1,000 yards, Yep.
And it's not a matter of who's gonna, have if it's, a 300 score on their target. It's who's gonna have a 300 score with 27 X's, in a 3-inch X ring at 600 yards. That's what they're counting. So
that's why I stayed in FTR. I wasn't going to play that game on up there. It's like it gets crazy.
Yeah, Mike was talking earlier about shooting in all weather. He shoots in sub-zero weather. I'm not.
He's the man.
Yeah.
You dudes are dedicated, all I know to you.
George just come out of hibernation to join this show.
Right. It's still wintertime.
Yeah.
For Vince, that's on the chat here. I'm in Egan, so I am in the South Metro of the Twin Cities area.
Egan. Really? I
Yep.
spent time up there, and this is a real date stamp for you. But when I was working for Apple, we were buying another Cray supercomputer, and that's where Cray Research was located, Egan, Minnesota.
Yep.
And I was there several times where it was minus 30 plus degrees and just bitter in the middle of winter. But it was cool what I got to see.
Yeah, well, you don't got to wait long. I mean, that's a nice thing about Minnesota. The weather will change. It was, it was near 50 here again today. 2 days ago, we got 6 inches of that heavy snow that, that you hate, that your snowblower won't move and you don't want to shovel and stuff. And it's almost all melted already. A week or two ago, I was out shooting and I was shooting in negative 18-degree weather. Granted, I only went to the pistol range that day. And then the next week when I was making videos, it was 50 degrees. So, with the wind chill, it's an 80-degree weather swing inside of 7 days. That's the crazy type of stuff we get here. But
wow.
I don't see how y'all stand it. I just don't.
They got
What's
the Mall
that?
of America. They hibernate inside.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to get out of the state, though. Once I can actually retire, I'm going to be leaving the state, but I need a little bit. And if I don't leave the state, I'm going to get out of the metro area. I need a little bit more open pastures, I guess. So.
Yeah, that's one thing I do. That's one question I was going to ask you guys. Where do you go to shoot? I mean, myself, I've got a range in my backyard. I'm really lucky about that. I've got 100 yards to 400 yards if I want to shoot. Where do you guys? You have to travel a lot to your ranges, or what?
So my range is about 2 miles from my house, and it's a pay range, but it's probably one of the cheapest ones I've ever seen. A lot of ranges you got to pay $1,200 a year to be a member, and you get on a waiting list, and uh, people have to leave or die out before you can get in there. But our range is it's $120 membership. You get a key to the gate to the facility. Um, Everything that we don't want you to have access to is locked up in connexes. Um, and you can go there at any time of day you want to and shoot. So if you want to go there at night and sight in coyote guns and shoot your thermals and your night vision, you can do that. You want to go early in the morning before everybody else gets up, you can do that. Um, it's $120 a year, and it's 2 miles from my house, so that's why I strive to try to take care of it. And Justin, he helps a great deal with that. We've done so much in the past 3 years to try to make it better and enjoyable for other people to come up there and take membership. So I'm very lucky to have something that nice close to my house, and it's about a 20-minute, 25-minute drive for Justin. So
That's a really nice range. That is really cheap.
Ours is about 150, and it's a great range. The only thing is, it's like if you want to go and just shoot yourself, you're not going to go on a Saturday because they have a lot of contests. Other than that, really nice setup, concrete benches, that sort of stuff. 150 a year for a family, I think is a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
oh, Hillbilly shoots in his backyard, and Justin shoots the same place I do, and Mike just shared his. So, and George, you're in the backyard, so I'd love to have a place where I could shoot in my backyard. But my wife would probably hate me for it because I probably wouldn't come in off the porch. So.
I've
The
got a
range
50
I do
yard.
most of the range. I
I've
do
got a
most
50
of
yard I've got a 50 yard what I call COVID range, and so during COVID I set it up out there, and I could get to 100, but the way it works is the way the property falls off, that bullet will clear the ground by about 2 inches on halfway down that range. And so you can't read chronographs, you can't read squat because your bullet's getting so close to the ground on the way there. But I do have that's my thing this year. I got to build a regular bench, and then I'll start doing a lot of 50-yard stuff at my house. It's just I can get more range time doing it that way.
I belong to. I've got a membership at 3 different gun clubs. Uh, the one I've been with the longest is the American Legion Gun Club, and that's like a 30-minute drive for me to get to, south of me. And then I got into the North Star Rifle Club, and the Post Legion Gun Club is basically, it's if you're not part of the CMP club, you can't do any type of positional shooting, and you can only do that then on CMP sanctioned event days. And then they've got a trap and skeet nights and stuff like that, which I've just never been into shotgun. And then they've got a 25-yard out to 25-yard pistol line, and then 50, 100, and 200-yard bench rifle ability on paper targets. And then I got into North Star Rifle Club, which is that has been a long established. It's one of those you got to wait for someone to die because the bylaws say no more than 140 members, type of thing, and it's been around since the 60s. But that is a dedicated. If you need to compete in some form of rifle sports to even be considered for a membership in that, and then you need to be what's the word for it? You have to know someone there that's going to sponsor you into it, and then you have to help participate in match events and things like that. And that range and that gun club has had Olympic shooters on it, junior Olympic shooters, stuff like that have grown out of that gun club, and that has the ability to go out to 800 yards. So, and then the last one I joined recently was the my county gun club, which you can shoot steel and all kinds of things. It's a great gun club, but it's only about 15 minutes away. But I really only joined that one because we thought we were going to lose our American Legion Post Gun Club because the Post was in such financial problems that we thought that the Post was going to sell off the gun club property to try to save itself. But fortunately, that didn't happen. So, so I've got 3 ranges, and I've got all kinds of. The one thing about being in the metro area of Minnesota is there are a ton of private ranges tucked in areas where urban sprawl has grown up all around it and everything. But we have a range protection act here in this state that won't allow housing developments to override. If you build a housing development next to a trap and skeet range that kids are shooting all night long, with lights on, you shouldn't have bought a house there, so.
Rustic Rimfire says, Chad, you need to build a bench out the back door. It's great. I built mine last fall and it works out great. Well, Rustic Rimfire, if you look down here at Vince's comment, he knows me and he knows where I live. If I had a bench out my back door, I'd have to shoot straight up the mountain.
Yep.
So, guys, I wanted to keep this around an hour and a half range, so this is kind of going to be the free for all in closing. We'll just go around the room, and each one of you can talk about what you got coming up. If you got any videos in the works, or Justin, I know you don't make videos, but feel free to talk about range improvements because I know you got a list of them. But no, Justin and I are going to probably get together soon and shoot the the March Madness target. So, and Hillbilly, in closing, if you want to plug a little bit about that, since you made that target, brother, you can do that. George, we'll start down there with you. When you gonna get back out and start making some videos?
Probably this week. Man, this weather's looking really good. The wind's been crazy, but I'm gonna try my best probably this week to shoot that new target y'all got. And got some centerfire stuff coming up too. I'm working with a 6.284 40X right now it's just unbelievable. So we'll make some videos about it. A little more on the Panda with the dasher barrel on it. I might put the PPC barrel on it as well. But I got a lot. I plan on doing a lot anyway in the next little bit, as long as the weather will hold.
Buddy,
I'd like to hear from you.
I've
I'd
watched
like
a
to hear.
lot of your videos, and you do a good job shooting. You can tell you've been doing it a while.
But I suck making videos. That's the problem.
Hey, that don't matter. We get the gist of it. How about you, Mike? What you got coming up? Rain, shine, sleet, or snow?
Uh, my plan for this weekend kind of was to do a little side by side of the budget Mark II and the new More Money Mark II. Do like a shootout with a couple of different ammos on the two of them as a comparison, or take when I did my which is better, the B14 suppressed and the budget Mark II, and the B14 suppressed barely inched out in an overall average of groups. So something along those lines. But I'm probably going to shoot you guys your challenge target the March Madness instead tomorrow. And then outside of that, something I got coming up. It's not till May, but one of the ranges at North Star Rifle Club that I mentioned, the board approved me to hold a long gong match out there. So I will be publicizing a 300-yard long gong match that I'm going to kind of limit it most likely to 30 shooters from anywhere that you want to. I don't know if I've already set it up on Practice Score if you're familiar with that, but I haven't made it live yet to register for it. If it could draw any people from out of state, there's a ton of rimfire shooters in this state that are going to want to jump all over it. The rimfire community here has already kind of heard about it, but that's something that I've got that's going to be coming up that's kind of big. I actually got in the mail here today. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it there, but them two boxes leaning up over there, that's two long gong sets that I ordered from DM Targets. And they are going to hook me up with some trophies for the match as well here since I bought the targets from them. So
cool, man.
Awesome. Hasbro, you gotta put the BB guns away, son. It's warming up outside.
Well, it's still March, right? So there's still bad weather, and when it's bad weather, I'll be shooting that, right?
Yep.
That's the indoor BB gun or pellet, and that's addictive. It's my own stupid challenge. You just get addicted, and I'll shoot 1,000 BBs of these stupid things by the time it's done. But then I'm shooting this one and March Madness tomorrow, weather permitting, after the PRS shoot, and this is just a lot of fun. It's a lot of ink too, by the way, George.
I've shot that one right there, and number 9 and number 18 or number 19, they're tricky.
They are, and if you have wind, I got a 20, and I hit all of them except for the bonus, and the bonus is difficult, but it's achievable. And son of a gun, I missed it by 1/8 of an inch. So what do I got to do? Break out more Ely. It's going to cost me another $20 to shoot it again. So, but I'm going to have fun, and I'm really looking forward to shooting the March Madness. I have a couple different videos I'm going to do for our buddy Elijah. One is that one, and I shot his. I was telling Chad, I shot the New Year's 2025 challenge, and I got a 13 and a 14. I go, that's no good, and I threw the targets away. Like, son of a gun, it's tied for the lead. It was like, I threw them away. so I went out and shot it again. I got to score it up and see how I did, and then I'll do a video for him about that one too. But I got some good ideas to have some fun, taking a few jabs at him and at Cyclops Joe and Hillbilly. You're going to be in it too. So we're going to have some fun next few days.
Guys, there's a lot of people out there making those challenge targets, and they're fun. I mean, the reason I got into shooting the challenge targets is we have an off season from our competition at the range, and these challenge targets, they help me keep my skills sharpened up so that when USBR starts back up, I might be ready. So,
Justin, Chad, Tab,
Yeah,
real
go
quick,
ahead.
one thing on
Go ahead.
NoPro, he's out there, right? And on his latest challenge, I believe it was his that go around the clock, and you shoot that one.
Yep. Skills
Son of a gun, I
challenge.
shot that. I shot that last Sunday too when I was shooting this other one. And I shoot that thing. It's really high wind. I'm getting frustrated, but I'm doing like reasonably okay. And I shot it twice, and both times I forgot to shoot the center of the target. It's like, what an idiot. It's right there. Number
Yeah.
10. I'm going, why would he stop at 9? And it's right in my center. So,
So
may have to be the brightest shooter out there. So,
yeah, so No Pro he's really good at making targets, but he really enjoys making targets that you have to think. But I'm not making you an excuse, Hasbro, because there's numbers on there 1 through 10. But now he has had some other targets that are hard to decipher. So but he's into the gallery style targets. That's what he likes. So, and I appreciate him putting out those targets, man. I know it's a lot of work, and long rifle, he's got some cool targets. He's been doing it for a while. There's several out there. So,
Night now.
yeah, good night, Dale. Thanks for being here. Justin, you got anything you want to put in closing?
I think tomorrow me and Bruce are gonna be shooting at our private range. It's about 2 miles from my house. Gonna be doing some top secret testing with the Coopers. Uh, Chad's not invited to that range session, but I think maybe Sunday we'll get into something at our other range. Maybe shoot March Madness.
All right, Hillbilly, what you got coming up, buddy?
Oh man. Well, first of all, I want to say thanks for doing this. It's a lot of fun. I've had a great time tonight. There's a lot of great people out in the side chat and on the panel. Now we got Guns, Beer, and Therapy coming up tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. So if you ain't done nothing, come by and see us. And then,
Yeah, they give away they give away stuff over there.
Yep. And anyway, we'll be out shooting March Madness challenge some more, and there's a few other challenges that I'd like to get done. But I do have some videos that I've got to make, some product videos that I've got to get out too. So anyway, and check out. Let me go ahead and pull this up here. Go over and show Elijah some love over there at Day at the Range. And anyway, this is the challenge target that the March Madness that come out today. And so you can see up there, like for if you shoot it, to tag Day at the Range, and just give Elijah something to watch and all that, while he's recovering, and show him some love. He sure does a lot for the community and everything. Just such a great guy. And so, check that out. And anyway, oh man, that's about it, I think. If you want a copy of that target, you can contact either me, Kentucky Rimfire, or Hasbro. We can get that sent out to you.
Yeah.
Just email us.
hey, Hillbilly.
Yeah.
I decided I'm going to make a spot on my webpage so anybody can grab it anytime they want, so they don't have to mess with email. So I'll send that to you and Chad, and that way you don't have to email it. We'll just have somebody just go there and download it. So, and I'll give you that link.
Hasbro'sHide.com.
Or we'll be another one, or we'll be under Hasbro'sHide.com.
I'll put it on Hasbro'sHide.com, but I'm going to give you a direct link to the file so you can put it anywhere you want. But they'll be able to see it on the page.
That's awesome. Thank you very much, buddy.
Yep.
Sure appreciate it.
Just makes it easy, right?
I've had my email scrolling across the banner for a few minutes. If anybody wants to email me and they got topic suggestions for this show, I'd love to hear them. I got a lot of stuff on my mind to cover as weeks to come, but if there's something you'd like to hear about Benchrest shooting and you want us to talk about it on here, please send me an email and let me know what you'd like to hear about. I gladly try to cover a topic for you. So in in closing, I guess what I got coming up is I shot the March Madness today, and I've been editing that, and I didn't quite get it finished, but hopefully that'll come out tomorrow. Um, and I just want to say I'm glad that Hillbilly contacted me on that. It's exactly what I believe me and Justin was looking for when we first contacted Elijah. And Hillbilly, you nailed it, buddy. Um,
Good
it's
job.
a
Good job.
it's a great target, and I will tell you, when you get down to the 3-pointers and the 5-pointer, it's a tough shot to not hit the flame and the crown. You might be able to hit that ball, but it's going to be tough not to plug that crown in those flames.
Yeah, and I want to shout out Justin. He had a lot of input on this too. So
Yep.
thanks a lot, Justin. Appreciate
Yep.
that.
So,
buddy.
guys, I appreciate everybody in the side chat. I appreciate you guys on the channel. Join us back here next week at 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern, and we'll have some more topics for you. And all these guys on the panel, I hope they will come back and join us, and we'll continue on talking about Benchrest here on Let's Talk Benchrest with Kentucky Rimfire and Hobbies. I appreciate everybody, and I feel like I had a phenomenal night tonight with a lot of viewers, and I had a lot of participation in the side chat. I really appreciate that support. I look forward to continuing on doing this. Guys, we'll see you in the future. We love you. Have a blessed day. Say goodbye, folks.
Not all.
Hey, y'all come
Good night,
back.
everybody.
You hear?